What happens when you take 13 of Saskatchewan's best and most creative chefs, along with a room full of local celebrities from the worlds of arts, politics, and entertainment, and introduce them to 17 dedicated organic farmers and the exceptional products they produce. Where you might just get yourself an invitation to dining with the stars.
Nicole just read Life of Pi again. She said she cried at the end.
Oh, good. Wonderful.
And then Patty just finished Beatrice and Virgil, so that's what I get to read next.
Okay.
So there's a whole Jan Martel like.
So we are here for Dine with the Star, and here is the star right here, Dan Walker of Weczaria. Not that you can ever pronounce the name or spell it. It's always held in the phone book trying to find out where that restaurant is. So we are doing a dinner for 12 people.
I think, yep.
And so we have to determine what we want to eat.
Yep.
How many courses?
We'll do like 2 to 3 apps, a main course with some choice, and then dessert, which is your favorite part of it. So
I like the rest too.
The idea is that we have to do organic or local, but we're more of a locally focused food restaurant. So the organic part is something that we, have on occasion. We don't necessarily always use organic.
But you are committed to local, though.
Yeah, 90% of our, say 75 to 90% of our menu is local. I mean, obvious things like pepper and I actually like the joke that my pepper's from Saskatchewan, but the lady that we get it from has a plantation in Costa Rica, so,
No, that's good. So we have 5 courses.
Yeah.
I'm vegetarian. Actually, no, I'm pescatarian.
Yes.
So I do eat fish. So do you propose to do a pescatarian menu, a vegetarian?
I think, in honor of your views on vegetarianism and
Note
pescatarian.
how he laughs.
Yes. We'll do that. We change our menu every week. We buy the freshest product possible and we put it out there. So we have the ability in the kitchen and as trained professionals to deal with all sorts of allergies or diseases, I guess, and vegetarianism, pescatarian, and all that kind of stuff, like on the fly. So we have a really fantastic supplier, Jonathan Fonos, in Dory Lake, that will have pickerel, jackfish, whitefish. We'll do that, and we got some hemp seed, some organic hemp seed. And so one of the things we're thinking about was, crusting one of the fish with a hemp seed would be kind of good.
Seed.
Yeah, it'd be really. Yeah, I haven't either, so that's something new for me. One of the other growers that we have is
when it burns in the oven. You might be very happy about that.
Yeah. Oh well. Is a gentleman out of Estevan, Raymond Aspinall, I think his name. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. He has a mill, an organic mill, so we're going to start getting flour from him. Like regular whole wheat flour, regular flour, rye flour, oat flour, buckwheat flour, and then he also has like all the grains too, spelt, buckwheat. So he actually had probably the one thing that was most interesting to us in terms of stuff that we can use in several different dishes. So we're quite excited to work with this gentleman and his product. So I'm really pumped about it.
How do you get to know all these producers? Is there a sort of a network of them? Or?
Sometimes
word
it's
of mouth?
Word of mouth, the farmer's market, Western producer, driving out in the middle of nowhere, and then just finding people, or people like yourself, or that are concerned about how they eat, and having themselves found somebody and coming to me and going, hey, I've got this really great guy that does this. And so we kind of sometimes have to be selective, but also at the same time, we can, because we do change the menu as much as we do, we're able to say we have this for this long, and that's it.
But so you, by the way, you get all your stuff directly from these producers?
Yeah, it's all farm gate. So we're there at the farmer's market, or in the case of getting all my wild boar for gold medal plates, was I drove all the way out to Drake, picked up all my animals, and then brought it back. So straight from the abattoir.
So how many producers in all do you think supply you? From your herbs to your wild boar to
probably
your fish?
50 or 60. farms.
Wow, that's a lot to keep
And
tabs
that's
of.
in the, yeah, my bookkeeper hates me sometimes.
If you are supplying local food and it's therefore also seasonal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roughly seasonal, is there one season that you prefer over another? Like a spring or?
No, well, yeah,
Fall?
spring here is a little
Or
is
fall
almost
rather when
fall.
things have grown.
Yeah, no,
Fall's
fall
the
is
richest.
always one of my favorites because
Okay.
then I tend to think fall stuff anyways all throughout the year. Summer's really a great bounty because that like late July, August, September is probably the 3 best months because you have so
Which
many
months
things
again?
to choose from.
Which month?
July, August, and September.
Okay. I like that idea of living in season too, because it's also more natural. It's the way
Yeah.
we lived like that for thousands and thousands of years.
Oh, for sure, and it's an education for us too, because then we have to find what is in season, and then we have to know how long the season is, and then we have to figure out can we can this? Can we freeze it? Can we preserve it somehow? Surprisingly, you'd be surprised at what you find in Saskatchewan. Like, it just amazes me. I think actually this menu is going to be quite challenging for us. I think with what we get, we're going to just figure some really cool stuff out. So I'm excited. And we're also, the wine that we're going to have for this event is locally produced fruit wine from a brand new winery called Living Sky Winery, which I've yet to
Wow.
try.
And what about dessert?
Gann's favorite topic. We're actually quite in luck because right now I have a young lady, Stacy Coates from Washington State, who's in Saskatoon working for Tracy Mussolini of Christie's Bakery.
So they're
Stacy's a
gonna
pastry
send an auditor
chef,
from
and
Yes.
she's
Houston
working
now,
for us
and
right
they're
now,
gonna sit down.
and she's
Set a
going to wow
challenge
you.
to-
Yeah,
Alright,
we're going
I'm
to
looking
challenge
forward
you
to that.
to do something. Stacy actually was with us for a short period of time, and she worked at with Jean Georges in New York City. So the desserts that she does are just fabulous.
And you've been open for 5 years,
Yep.
and you're moving next March.
March, actually, the date, yeah, March, St. Patrick's Day is my reopening in our new spot. It's going to be on Broadway,
It's fantastic.
doubling the size of the restaurant because I have so many people that come here, that call, that can't get in, that
Yeah.
are mad at me, and I don't want to
Now, are
be.
you only going to do evenings, or are you also going to start doing
No,
lunches?
this is where we get really exciting because I've borrowed a lot of money from the bank. I have to pay it back, so we're going to be open for lunch Monday to Friday, and then we're going to do Saturday, Sunday brunch,
Oh,
and then dinner
Saturday.
Monday to Saturday, I guess.
In a while, we won't even hear the rustling sound. The kids behind us are making while they're fooling around. 'Cause if the story's alright, there's nothing else. No, and for a couple of hours, you get out of yourself. Oh, so give me something funny and sad. Give me every moment filled with meaning, good or bad. Give me soft chew, give me I love you too. Give me a kiss and cue the band.
Dear God, we thank you for this tremendous opportunity to enjoy the bountiful blessings of this land and the political stability that we enjoy, and all the wonderful people that have come here together today, and ask that that you would bless each one of them, and that you would bless the conversation around this table. And thank you for your goodness. Amen.
This is a project that was started by SOD through funding from the Department of the Environment's Go Green Fund, where they funded SOD to be able to create awareness of local and organic food. We have 17 producers around the province who have and are donating food to 13 restaurants. They're across the province. We have some in Saskatoon, some in Regina, one in PA, one in, last night we were in Birch Hills at the New Ground Cafe.
I'm Jan Martel. I'm a writer. I feel desperately unaccomplished. I just eat. But I am looking forward to eating this meal and talking more about where food comes from and how we can improve our food supply.
I'm Alice Kuipers. I'm writer-in-residence at the Saskatoon Public Library, and my resolution this year is to learn more about cooking and food, so I'm very glad to be here.
My name is Amy Jo Eamon. I'm a writer as well, and I write a lot about Saskatchewan foods, and I love to eat a lot of Saskatchewan foods, so I can write about them, so I'm really thrilled to be here.
Hi, my name is Martin Meinert. I'm an organic farmer. I'm a CA and I work at public practice during the winter and farm during the summer, and I'm also the president of SOD, which is our organic group.
Hi, I'm Betty Meinert, and I'm Martin's spouse, and together we have been organic farming since 1999.
Yes.
I'm Sue Eklund. We own and operate Living Sky Winery just west of Saskatoon. We're a small artisan winery that uses Saskatchewan fruits.
It's Lester. I'm the ugly half of Living Sky Winery. One of my passions, I think, is to connect with people who get the concept of eating well.
I'm actually a singer and finishing my master's degree in vocal performance right now, but I'm married to a wonderful chef.
And that's me. My name's Anthony McCarthy. I'm the executive chef at the Saskatoon Club. I had the good fortune of being the guinea pig to do the first one of these meals, so I paved the way for everyone else. So, you know, they learnt from me, I'm sure.
My name is Tracy Thompson. I'm one half of the duo Mayfly, and we're just actually very, very happy to be invited here tonight. Thank you, Marion.
I'm Lisa Unruh. It's an honor to sing for our supper tonight, and looking so forward to enjoying the local food and company with you here.
This is Steve Gunther, partner with my wife, Living Soil Farms. We grow organic vegetables and organic grains, and we're also very happy to be here. My family and I, we own Living Soil Farms. This is my son Jadrian, and my other son Micah, and wife Jan and Natalia, and my name is Steve, and we produce organic grains and vegetables. We are certified organic. Our vegetables and grains are certified organic. That means that we've had it's a third-party inspection process that inspects our farming practices and our documentation of that. The public is ensured that it's not just us saying that we're certified organic, but that we are that somebody else has said it, an unbiased third party. Some of the regulations around certified organic agriculture include documentation of everything that we've applied, and what we use normally, or what are allowed substances, are naturally derived soil amendments and cropping practices, which include crop rotations and green manure plow down for fertilization. And the basic principle behind it is trying to enhance the biology of the plants and the soil. Instead of just using chemicals to manipulate nature, we're trying to work with nature. And the second part of what our objective in organic is trying to improve the taste and the quality of the vegetables. So we're trying to do two things. We're trying to eliminate toxins and soluble undesirable things that get into the water we drink and the air we breathe. And the second thing is to try to build a healthier, tastier plant, working with nature. One of our primary objectives, or challenge as you might say, is to improve the fertility of our soil. And we're trying to improve the fertility in order to improve the taste and the quality of our produce. And there hasn't been a lot of research, formal research done in this area. And so that gets to be a bit of a challenge and takes a lot of time to research, and a lot of time on the phone talking to professionals and other farmers with experience. In fact, it's widely acknowledged that over the last 50 years, the nutritional quality of our produce has decreased dramatically in the last 50 years. And so we're trying to reverse that. The primary ways that we try to improve quality is by enhancing the biology of the soil. And we do this with most predominantly with soil rotations and crop plow down. Another way that we improve a nutritional quality of our produce is with foliar fertilizing sprays, and they're completely certified organic, so they're derived from natural mined substances and natural ingredients. So that could include organic molasses, liquefied fish fertilizer, and a wide variety of bacterial and fungal inoculants to sort of jumpstart, once again, the biological processes in the soil. We can fertilize our crops with our organic amendments, or we can water with our drip line here, the red drip line, and that's what keeps us. Keeps our plants growing in the heat of the season when it's too dry. And I'll just pull up a few carrots here. They're pretty small yet, but this is what we're trying to do. This is always the most exciting part of the season, is to pull up what we've grown and see if how good we are at producing a tasty, high quality product. And sometimes we're happy with what we've done, and sometimes we're not so happy with what we've done. Just to talk a little bit about the name Living Soil Farms, that it says really well what we're trying to do. We're trying to create living soil farms, and one of the unintended side effects of the name has been some thoughts from fellow farmers who tell me, well, what do you mean? Is our soil not living then? And that wasn't the intent. It's just a name that tries to say what we are trying to do, not necessarily what others aren't doing. And we haven't arrived yet. We're not happy with we've seen some progress, but we've only been at this for 5 years, and we hope to continue to always strive to improve soil quality and food quality, as well as be better stewards of the land. This is our potato patch, and we have a total of 3 acres or 4 acres of a variety of varieties of potatoes. That includes a Binji potato, a Yukon Gold, banana potato, and then several French fry potatoes. A lot of them are destined for restaurant use. Some are destined for the Saskatoon Farmers Market. That's where you can buy a lot of our product. Some people buy off the farm here as well. So we have some farm gate sales as well. And we have a new venture that we're starting at the Saskatoon Farmers Market, or hoping to start at the end of the month, is making our own French fries. We are trying to reduce our ecological footprint from the transportation of food from far away. And I think if we do the math on it right now, we probably, the locally produced and bought products probably haven't made an impact yet, but I think as more and more people demand local products, the systems will become more efficient, as well as our transportation and distribution systems will need some time to adjust. They've evolved over the last 75 or 100 years to become a global system, and so that's how our system is designed. And so it's going to take a decade or two to achieve those kinds of efficiencies, transporting and distributing local products. Success is an interesting concept. Success is when one has done one's best and you see results. You see improvement from year to year, and that can include environmental improvements, yard improvements, crop improvements, facilities improvements, and it's also produce importance, produce quality, and that's probably the most important thing that we strive for, and everything we do revolves around trying to improve our product.
At Jan's request, and most of you know this, but in case you didn't, at Jan's request, and when he consulted with Dan setting up the menu for the night, we came up with a vegetarian pescatarian, and I learned a new word at that point, meaning we're having fish and vegetables tonight. Thank you, Jan, for agreeing to be our celebrity for the evening. And we've added on some entertainment, and we've got celebrity other chefs, and we have also celebrities who are producers, because the work that they produce needs to be celebrated.
Folks generally haven't been exposed to fruit wines in Saskatchewan yet, and so there are a million grape wines you can get at the liquor store and at places like Cava where folks typically buy wine. What we're mostly interested in is making fruit wine from fruit that is connected to us. So we grow our own fruit, and we're trying to be the world's greatest fruit wine producer. We want to be the best fruit winery in the world.
So like I said before, we started with the golden beets from Steve and some of his potatoes. So we just have some onion and a little bit of garlic. Sauteed that, added the potatoes and the beets to it. Kind of got a little bit of color in it, and then just threw in some good old-fashioned water. Just clink your glasses and have a good night, and we'll...
Golden beets, I think, are always a little bit less minerally than the intense purple ones. I think the soup was way milder, but it was beautiful. And if you didn't know that there were golden beets in the world, I would have guessed it was squash soup until I put it into my mouth.
I didn't know there were golden beets.
No.
I only knew the deep red ones,
Yeah.
and it was really a very smooth soup. It was very tasty, and I thought it was very well blended, so I think it's great having an 800 horsepower blender. It was very smooth.
I didn't know there could be a beet soup apart from borscht, so it was nice to see that.
I'm very uneloquent when it comes to food. I just love it, so it's good.
Tell us about the beets.
Well, the beets are good. I was introduced to golden beets by my buddy Wally, Wally's Urban Garden, and he's been a tremendous help to me at the farmers market. And so he says, "Oh yeah, just grow those golden beets because they're a seller. You'll have no trouble getting rid of those." So.
I used to look at food as nutrients, and so I would take nutrients into my body, and that's the only reason I ate, I think. And so eating that soup, I could sort of feel those nutrients going in. I loved that earthiness in it, and it felt very healthy and delicious.
And I have a long-standing fear of beet soup after a horrible experience in Russia, and I think I'm getting over it. That was lovely.
I don't over-abuse the dishes in that, so it is just food.
La Virgen va caminando y va caminando solita y no lleva pa' compañía que el niño es su marita. Pero mira cómo beben los peces en el río. Pero mira cómo beben. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alice. Happy birthday to you and many more.
Thank you very much.
So a rye flour gnocchi. This is our signature dish in terms of what for whatever reason we decided to stick this on the menu. The first menu we had in the restaurant. And the rye flour is from Raymond Aspinall and Estevan, who has their own mill. This is one of the. Just give this quick hit of heat. So the rye gnocchi, we're doing the gnocchi, like as I was telling Aj again, has been on the menu ever since we've been open, and this is so we're using Raymond Aspinall's rye flour in place of the all-purpose flour that we normally put in the gnocchi for this dish. We used Steve's Yukon Gold potatoes, and we normally use Yukon Gold for this dish all the time. And then we did the pastrami cream sauce. So we took the spices of pastrami, coriander, cinnamon, smoked peppercorn, chilies, and cloves, allspice, and salt are the kind of the base of the dish.
On the one hand, I think we have to maybe lower expectations. You know, we live in an economy where we expect to have everything available any time of year. So I think in future we have to tell people that maybe in the depths of winter we shouldn't be expecting to eat pineapple and kiwis. You know, we do have to try to eat more seasonally. Perhaps, hopefully, they'll start to appreciate what they do eat seasonally.
Organics has definitely become more mainstream. There was a time when organic farmers didn't really admit it to most of their neighbors, where researchers didn't really dare to admit that, where it was not a politically sound career move to suggest that you wanted to study organics. And all of those things have improved greatly. It's still a source of difficulty for some producers in terms of their neighbors belittling the idea of organics and whatnot. That's still out there, absolutely. But there's more support now.
So we have Jonathan Fonos' Northern Pike. John, this fish is at the middle of in the winter time. This is a fish that he has, like he does almost year round, but this is the time when the flesh is at its sweetest. So we kind of went, again, the northern aspect of northern Saskatchewan. There's lots of wild rice and the northern pike, and then the blueberries. Then we have the pike, just sauteed on one side with a little bit of butter and some oil, some salt, and whenever we do our fish, we use Carol Thomas's white peppercorns that have been infused with lemon. So we've been using that to season the fish with, which I really like. It really gives it a nice kind of pop to it. And then a little bit of arugula with a little bit of the walnut dressing from the salad on top there, just to kind of finish it off. I always like to have kind of a acid in the dishes that I think kind of just give it that little punch and that to it. Most of you are done already, Alice. You're just all ready to go, but you're pregnant, so that doesn't count. Pretty straightforward. It's nothing really over the top. So this is my favorite dessert next to creme caramel and lemon tart. So with the spoon there, we have a little compote of sour cherries. Now, as I was explaining to Marion earlier, we use two producers like the wild rice for our sour cherries. Dean Kutzler down in Lumsden with Over the Hill Cherries, and Prairie Sun Orchard, Claire and Wayne. I lost her last name. Thank you. It's really neat to kind of have a talent like that in Saskatoon. It's almost like having Anthony here too, you know, having such great influences coming into the city. Our brushes with fame are fleeting and faring, but now that they become locals, it's kind of, it's not, the luster kind of loses itself after a while. I'm a little worried that the next book might have a character, a strange chef in it or something. So, but it's always fascinating to talk to Jan about what he does and that. It's very interesting to listen and hear how he goes about, you know, writing these amazing books and stuff like that. So it's a great talent to have in Saskatoon, so we applaud you for picking our home.
We really are blessed with the place that we live and how wonderful it is.
Absolute joy of tonight was not having to think about it, but just enjoying it, just relishing in it, hearing the stories about the food and sitting at the table with the people who produce this food and just immersing in it. I think that's what I really love about eating off the local bounty. It's not intellectualizing it, it's just being a part of it that makes it so special.